Yo, welcome to the channel. Today we have a Mafex Hush Superman. So when I first got the Batman, I immediately decided that I needed a Nightwing and Superman. Superman I managed to find pretty cheap. I got him used for around 90 compared to the abhorrent prices of $200 for this figure mint. So I just got to use one. He is missing an accessory, but I'll go over that later. And then I have a Nightwing on the way. I just bought him yesterday. But this is a Superman review, so we'll get into it. So this is based on his look in the Batman Hush comic, and while Superman doesn't make that big of an appearance, he still plays a critical role in the story. But based on his short appearance, he just has the classic red and blue suit, big logo underwear on the outside, and then the logo on the cape. Looking at this face sculpt, you can see this is just a stoic Superman. Now the biggest complaint with this figure is that people wish that he came with a smiling sculpt. But for the purposes of the story and why he's in the story, I think the neutral sculpt works fine. Personally, I think I might look for a smiling printed sculpt eventually, but right now, this stoic one will do. The rest of the outfit is basic, yellow belt, big red trousers, big red boots, and then the cape. So this isn't as big as Batman's cape, but it still is pretty long. Well, not long, but the wingspan is wide. It ends just above the calf, and then like I mentioned on the back, there is the Superman logo. There are 4 wires, I'm pretty sure. There's this one right here. So if we try to pull out the wingspan of the cape, we can see it doesn't go out that far. Oops, he fell. And I'm pretty sure these might just be folds. Unlike the Batman with the 2 wires that pull down the cape, there's just these 2 on the outside, and they're pretty stiff wires, so they'll be able to hold poses pretty well. So moving on to articulation, he is your basic Mafex. He will look up, he will look down, he will turn side to side, and he does have nice tilt. The head and neck are separated, so you can get the neck moving, but it is a little tight on this copy. These shoulders do move up pretty far. You can get a T-pose, well, a little more successful on this side, where you can get a T-pose going. They move forward, they move back. There is a butterfly joint in there that does allow you to kind of swivel the joint inward, but because of the musculature and the sculpt, it is a bit hard to. He has a bicep swivel, double joints that bend in pretty far, past 90. And then he has a usual 112 wrist peg. So his torso will not be limited at all because there's an open sculpt. The musculature does seem to kind of get in the way a bit. It seems this one can't bend forward at all. I'm pretty sure that probably will be my copy, but he can bend forward using his bottom waist. He can turn side to side, and he has tilt on both ends, so you can get him tilting pretty far out. As you can see, there's a lot of gappage down here near the belt area, so if that bothers you, you're gonna have to either deal with it or just pose him in a way that this belt doesn't show. So he does have drop down legs that do allow the leg to move forward pretty high. You can see that's a full kick. It does push in the underwear piece though, so you might want to be careful. He has thigh swivel, double joints that bend in pretty far. And then his ankles are just the basic ankles. They move down, they move up. There's some tilt, but it is tight on mine. And the ankles do move side to side. He has toe pivot. So there's that. You can get Superman doing some wacky stuff. Hold on. So yeah, this figure is a bit tight in the torso area. I'll have to fix that for pictures, but he does still pose well. If you want to get him in a fighting stance, you can do that. Well, that's not really a good fighting stance. And if you want to get the cape flowing, making it look like it's in the wind, there's that. Something about this doesn't, it looks good on my perspective, but through the camera it looks a little funky. So there's that, if you want to get a fighting stance going. And he does balance, so there's that. In terms of accessories, he does lack in terms of other things that aren't hands or heads, but what he comes with, I think, is necessary. So he has a second sculpt. This one has a laser eye effect. You can see there's red on the eyes. There's no actual laser eye effect though, this is just a head. So this still does look cool. He does come with a bunch of hands. He comes with your usual flight hands, or karate chops, whatever you want Superman doing. These more relaxed hands or grabbing hands. The skin tone is nice on these. It's a little light though. He has these splayed out action hands. And he comes with these kind of cape grabbing hands. There's a little slit right there so you can make him grab in the cape. Batman came with similar ones. And with Superman, I feel like these weren't unnecessary, but I mean, there's no real poses of him ever like grabbing his cape or anything. So I don't know. It is a bit weird. But the reason, let me give some context to these accessories. So the reason Superman is in the Hush story is because Poison Ivy takes him over using like kryptonite lipstick, something like that. That's from the movie, but I'm sure it's similar in the comics. So he does come with these Poison Ivy vines you can wrap around his forearms and then his neck. So we'll show that on the figure real quick. So this one just wraps around his neck like a necklace. So this is the look that will fit in your Hush display. So this is Superman taken over by Poison Ivy. Yeah, let me try the other head while I'm at it. So there's that. You can get him looking menacing. He's flowing, cape in the wind. So there's that. Superman looking nice and deadly. So we'll move on to size comparisons. I'll just leave this stuff on. There's no point in taking it off. I'll try to straighten the cape out so there's no bunching. Or not bunching. Well, I guess, yeah. Just to make this area less cluttered. I'll try to stand him straight. That's about as straight as he's going to get. Something wrong with his legs. There we go. Okay. So we'll compare him to the other Hush figure I have, which is Batman. So here is compared to Hush Batman. The capes do clash because Batman has a freaking blanket on his back. And his ankle's a bit loose. Here, give me a sec to set this all up. This is pretty much the best way I can get it. They are a bit forward because Batman's cape's taking up all that backspace. But, I mean, they do look good together. I do like the contrasting blues and the contrasting colors. I'm sure with the black Batman it would fit a lot better, but I still like the blue one a lot. We'll compare him to a CT I have. This is the CT Toys Black Suit Spider-Man. And being a knockoff, you can see he is pretty short. Wow, Superman really does not want to stand up. I don't know. The cape is just really abundant. So here he is compared to a CT Toys Spider-Man. He is really far back, I know, but I'll fix that in a minute. He is compared to a Mezco Punisher. And here he is compared to an SHF Spider-Man. So you can see Superman is the medium size. He's not too tall, he's not too short. So I think this could be your definitive Superman in your collection. Of course, if you're one of the people that don't like the fact that he doesn't come with a smiling head, maybe you're going to lean more towards another Superman, maybe a Mezco one. The Mezco Man of Steel version is a really good figure. I was contemplating between that one and this one, but in the end, I felt like a Mafex would do my collection justice. It would do my collection justice just due to the fact that I like posing figures. I like pushing them to their limits. So Mezcos, I'm a bit more careful with that. Obviously, I'm careful with every figure, but, you know, Mafex, you can push them a bit more. But yeah. So this has been DM Customs. Hope you enjoyed the video. We hit 200 subscribers a few days ago. I'm still working on that. Well, it's not going to be like a whole congratulatory video. What I want to do is I just kind of want to say thanks and then make a compilation of pictures I've taken and videos and stuff. So there's that. But this has been the Mafex Hush review. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the pictures. And yeah, God bless. Stay safe.